Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Tracklist podcast show. I'm Daron Jenkins.
For Saunders.
And on today's show, we are doing the 1992 film Juice. Directed by Ernest R. Dickerson. Four inner city teenagers get caught up in the pursuit of power and happiness, which they refer as the juice. Cast includes Tupac Shakur, Omar Epps, Jermaine, Hopkins, and Khalil. Kain. This film had a budget of $5 million and made $20 million at the box office and was released on January 17th of 1992.
Well, it's funny because I've been watching rewatching House recently, and Omar Epps is in there. So it's funny to see him so young in this, in a very different role. Well, runtime, hour 35 minutes, not bad. And Ernest Dickerson was the kind of main cinematographer for Spike Lee.
Yeah.
So he's worked on Do the Right Thing.
Yep.
He also worked on Malcolm X and The Walking Dead. But this was his directorial debut.
Yeah, actually, I'm an extra in this movie.
Dude, you gotta tell me before so I keep an eye out.
That's why I didn't. That's exactly why I didn't say anything.
Why did you have the fucked up flat top too?
I'm in the club when Q competes for the first time.
Well, I mean, I can just fucking go back and watch it. It's on streaming. I'll just
You
fast forward to that
won't
scene.
find me, but I'm in there. Ernest Dickerson. I got this movie, and then I ended up, because I did this one, I did Malcolm X because he was on that as well.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Are we gonna do Malcolm X? Is that a good soundtrack?
Actually, the soundtrack is actually pretty good. I don't know if we're doing it, but there it is.
Let's see. Well, I wanted to do Crimson Tide, so I guess we can do another Denzel movie. do that Denzel movie instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I read in the IMDb trivia that a lot of, well, first of all, Ernest Dickerson interviewed a bunch of like his cousins' friends or something, and pretty much everything he got from them made it into this movie. They all lived in the area where this was based, and even like the scenes like running on the rooftops with Bishop and Q was taken from his own life. So it's a lot of autobiographical and biographical content in this film.
Feels like it too. I mean, it
does.
Contextually, it's just like I identify with a lot of this movie.
Dickerson's from Jersey, Newark.
Yeah, so there you go.
I mean, aside from the killing and stealing and robbing, whatever, I identify with a lot of it. It's like you said, it feels. I think it feels authentic. Like I think the interactions between the four friends, like until later on in the film, I could identify with. It's like, pretty much all the fucking around stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it's a interesting movie. It currently has 7 out of 10 on IMDb. Critics on Rotten Tomatoes 81%. Audience 90%. So
interesting.
Yes, sir. But it is set in Harlem, not Newark.
Well, I think it's half of one, two of the other. I mean, back then it was pretty much the same. So was this? I'm trying to remember. Is this No, this is not Tupac's first film. He was in something else first. I forget what it was.
Was he? Or was it Above the Rim? Is that before this?
I think he was in.
That's 94.
I'm pretty sure this is not his.
Poetic Justice was 93. No, about 92. I see a bunch of music videos. Yeah, I think. Oh, it's just all just music. Oh, composer.
Nothing But Trouble was his first movie. Yeah, with I think that's Martin Lawrence, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, IMDb doesn't even list his acting credits, which is weird. It shows known for and 4 movie acting credits, but in the credits below, it's all composer and music department. It seems like a misnomer.
Nothing But Trouble is wow,
Oh, here we
John
go.
Candy, Demi Moore, Chevy Chase.
Digital Underground Rap Group.
A Digital Underground. Oh,
So was he just himself in that movie?
I don't know. It was an appearance, so I don't think. I think it's one of those things you're on screen. I think maybe you
I
got
mean,
one word or something.
he's always himself in the movie. I
There
don't
was
know if I.
talk about him possibly. I mean, there was like before Oscars, and as we record this, today is going to be Oscar Sunday. There was talk about him whether what he should have been nominated for this role.
Yeah, I saw that in the email, and I heartily disagree.
Yeah.
I think he's. I don't even want to use the word serviceable as an actor. He. I mean, again, this is an earlier one, but I don't really feel like I saw like a progression in his career as he was doing other roles. So, like I said, he's Tupac in the movie, right? He's just.
Well, this definitely fit. I mean, he probably was so good in this was because it was. I mean, this was pretty close to his life before music.
I mean, he. I think he wasn't even supposed to read for this movie. He went in with like a friend, and then asked to at the reading asked to read for the role, and I guess he got it because he like threw a chair during
Oh,
the
there
reading,
you
and
go.
like and he got, I don't know, they were impressed by that. So
He threw a chair. Let's hire him.
that's all it takes. I'm gonna step in there too. I'm gonna
Yeah,
put my hat in the
you
ring for
start throwing
acting.
some chairs, Chris. Man, get some roles.
But the opening of the film definitely feels like Spike Lee.
Yeah, definitely. I was like, this feels just like one of his earlier films.
Well, it's like we did do the right thing, right? And the whole thing, like the parents yelling at the kids to get up in the morning, was definitely like that wasn't do the right thing.
Yeah.
The video montage, like not the same, but right, you have the hip hop in the background and like the style I feel like was similar. And do the right thing, you have Rosie Perez dancing for like an hour. But yeah, no, I felt very Spike. And then you have like enough respect, Big Daddy Kane playing in the background.
Yeah. I mean, the camera work was very much Spike Lee.
Yes, some cinematographers, so that makes
Yeah.
sense.
So,
And like, I mean, and that whole obviously enough respect like is on the nose for this film. It's kind of like one of the meanings for Juice. But in that opening montage where we're meeting all the main characters, right? One of the fathers is lecturing them on going to school, and or the mom is lecturing one of them going to school. Um, Raheem won't let his sister in the bathroom. Like all these kind of like on that theme of respect. Talking about slow to get out of bed. And then I think through obviously like this is very much focused on like Q and like Bishop are kind of the main focal points, and like Bishop is like wants respect, like he wants that shit. Q just wants to fucking do his music.
yeah.
But you get that theme obviously throughout, like obviously because that's the whole point of the film. But you get that a lot of that in the first montage.
Did you, I was thinking about this during when I was watching this. Did you have like one, like I always feel like growing up back then there was always one dude in your crew who was just he was just a little off. Like there's always one crazy dude. One guy you're like, we hang out, but I ain't trying to.
I mean, I don't know. I think I was pretty protective of my crew, so like if ever someone came in that I didn't approve of, I would pretty much let it be known. So,
Mm,
but I mean, that being said, we had a boy in our crew that did go to Rikers after graduation in high school. But it was after he started, like, he stopped hanging out with us. Like, there was a bit of a falling out with some people, and he went to hang out with a other bunch of fucking dudes, and that was the problem, not necessarily him. But yeah, yeah. If I had to say now, I have another friend that's just like he's crazy.
yeah.
He's uh, so he can go off the rails.
Like if he
Snap
goes to
of the
jail,
finger.
you're like not surprised. at all. Kind of,
I don't think it's a jail thing. It's just like a causing a scene thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
I,
you know.
my best friend was Bishop. I had a best friend who was kind of the same dude, same, except he was Hispanic.
And you were Steel.
Me, no, I was Q.
That's
If anything, I was probably not even. I'm probably not even in that. I was, because my grandmother would have killed somebody.
because you're what?
So my grandmother would have killed somebody if something happened to
What
me.
a kill! I thought you said you did kill somebody.
Oh no, no.
But yeah, that whole dynamic between the four friends, like again, like I said, feels very authentic.
Yeah,
And that's what I identify with. Just like like mostly the fucking around, but like they have some serious conversation, like sort of like borderline serious conversation when like Raheem is like talks to his girl or ex girl, and then she like storms off, and then Q comes up. He's like, "Yeah, real smooth, man." You can tell he is concerned about his boy and like wants to see if he's okay, but he's not gonna like have that emotional conversation, right? You know how dudes did, right? Like,
yeah,
so they have those some pseudo serious conversations, but a lot of it just fucking around with each other, right?
yeah. Didn't steal? Wasn't he in that movie with
Lean on me.
Lean on Me? Right?
He's the dude. You smoke drugs, don't you? Yeah, that was him. Which we still need to do, by the way.
Yeah, that's definitely. Every time I turn around, there's clips on it online. Somebody, so I feel like I've watched it like 6 times within the last month or so.
I that's I have not watched that movie in years, but it's possibly one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, yeah. We'll have to move that up in the batting order.
So okay, but we get all this, like we get the opening montage. We kind of see these guys interact with each other. They do have those like the main protagonist here is or antagonist is Bishop, and like he doesn't like being rolled up by like right. He says at one point like we run away from the cops, we run away from these other gangs, we run away whatever from we run away from school security, like we ain't shit, right? So he's like on that juice thing, right?
Yeah,
Um, and the others, that was one thing I was kind of thrown off by. Like obviously, Steele is just like a follower. He's just like I'm gonna do whatever you guys
yeah.
tell me to do.
Yeah,
Q has a little more independence, right? He's trying to do that music thing. Raheem is like supposed to be the leader.
yeah,
Um, and he shows that leadership here and there, like, not going into that spot to like hold up the place with that guy, Blizzard. And he's always like kind of directing traffic. Like, we're gonna do this. We'll talk about that role a little bit later, but um, question:
yeah.
when they were in the Trip's place playing video games and pool, why were the cops chasing them? Or were they truancy cops?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Back in the day, it was illegal for kids to be out of be like not being illegal is a strong word, but the police played a more active role in keeping kids in school.
I guess
Truancy.
if you watch this in '92, you would have got that. I just feel like now you never hear about that, so it's just like,
yeah, it was weird, right?
like they could have just been like, "Should y'all be in school?" Like something, just one line, just to be like,
Yeah,
explain to me why they're there. Okay, but then, so hold up. So they run away, and I think is it Raheem and Bishop that are together, and that white cop clears the fence way more easily than Bishop. Like Bishop gets stuck on it.
yeah. I was like,
That white cop fucking hurdled that motherfucker.
well, it was plus they like when they ran into the apartment building after that. Those cops ran it like they were on them pretty damn quick. I was like, wait, what?
So these are like Olympic policemen.
I guess so. I don't know why they didn't just run out. Like, why? Was nothing good ever happens when you're being chased and you run up to the roof. Nothing good ever happens. I don't know why people continually do this in the movies. It doesn't work out very well unless you're, Gene Hackman and your Popeye Doyle chasing people across the rooftops of Brooklyn.
Oh, you had to bring up Gene Hackman.
Had to bring him up. Nice segue, eh?
Well, this week,
This
Gene
week was
Hackman
brutal.
and his wife and his dog were found dead. I, it's still, I don't know if there's been any other news came out about it, but like, yeah, that's why I
Still
wanted
no.
to do Crimson Tide because I love that film and he's amazing in it.
Just that it's been they were down for a while.
So, just sad news there. R.I.P. to one of the greats. I hope nothing terrible comes out about him about this
Yeah.
situation. But yeah,
Feel like it won't, but yeah.
yeah. So we're gonna have to figure out how you can. I'll mail you Crimson Tide, my DVD, and we can do Crimson Tide. It's an amazing film. Jerry Bruckheimer, Denzel Washington, Gene Hackman, all these like actors you've heard of before.
Yeah.
Like they just second, third tier actors that are just in everything. Some of them were also in The Rock, which is also Jerry Bruckheimer. Anyway, so
Yeah.
gotta do that. Gene Hackman.
I mean, it's a good movie.
All right. I got my first pop quiz for you because there's gonna be another one. It's a hard one, but maybe you noticed. Okay. Remember when they're in the record store?
Bob Marley.
What do I so yes, but that's the only first part of the question. Raheem is looking through the V section,
Yeah.
and there is a Bob Marley record, so you saw that.
Yeah.
To his left in the T section.
Yeah.
Yes, Bob Marley. What album was it?
That I couldn't tell. I couldn't. I saw the album, but I couldn't tell what the artwork was.
Oh, come on. Talking Blues.
I'm not the Bob Marley aficionado. That's your job.
You should have looked it up, man.
How am I supposed to look it up?
You look up Bob Marley albums, and then you find the cover. The cover was there.
Yeah.
Come on, this is Google. Just use Google.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll give you half a point for noticing it. Okay. All right. There's one later. There's another pop quiz later.
I'm sure.
Coming up soon. After I think you'll get that one though. Like I mentioned, Raheem being showing that leadership and preventing them from going into the bar where Blizzard is holding up, and it was funny because like Q was just in there buying cigarettes and he starts talking to Blizzard, and he's like, "How you doing, man? When'd you get out? When'd you get out of prison?" And the guy's just like not paying attention. He's just like looking around. Man. Yeah, and he's just like, "Yeah, excuse me for a second. I'm about to rob this place." Mad
I thought that was
nonchalant.
hilarious. Pardon me for a second. I'm about to rob this place.
And that feels like do the right thing, right?
Yeah.
It feels like it could be a scene out of that film as well.
There was like sprinklings of Do the Right Thing, Friday, even a little bit of Menace to Society to it.
Which is funny because I watched this. Did you watch this on Paramount Plus?
Yeah.
And like right after this movie finished,
yeah,
Menace to Society automatically started playing.
Yeah. I mean, what are they trying to say?
If you like this, you might like this. That's what they're
If
trying
you
to
like us killing these brothers, let's show you some more. Yeah. Still, good movie.
I mean, I ain't seen it in decades, plural, I think now. But
yeah, me either.
Dude, if I had time, I probably would have just jumped into Menace to Society.
Yeah, right?
I might have just started watching it.
Yeah, I mean, they did get that part right.
Like this movie itself may not be a day killer, but if Paramount Plus keeps on suggesting shit back to back like that could be a day killer.
Yeah.
You might not go anywhere for a week.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna give you this other pop quiz now. Let's just get it out the way. All right. When they're at Steele's place, and Steele makes breakfast for all of them, and Bishop is watching a movie, and they leave it on for a bit.
Yeah.
What is the movie?
White Heat. James Cagney.
I knew you were gonna get that. There you go. All right, 1.5 points today.
Whatever. I got one for you later.
That brings your grand total up to 1.5.
I got one for you later.
I'm gonna ace it. This is funny. I got 2 pop quizzes and I have a second. So hold up.
Another one.
How old is the ex-wife of that dude that Q is hooking up with?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that question too.
Right, he's in high school.
He can't be any older than 18.
And she's been married and divorced.
So she's got to be at least 20, 25. Seems a little. Yeah, well.
It might be R. She might have got married young too. We don't know.
Even 20, 25 is still fine.
That's the other thing, right? Like, yes, this film was like an hour and a half. Um, I did need some more background information for like maybe her, right? She's like a not a major part of the film, but like
Right.
definitely some background info on Bishop. Why is he like that?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
motherfucker crazy.
Well, I mean, he's the culmination of what happens when you bully somebody too much. They eventually want to fight back. And so that scene where the dudes have him pinned up against the wall, all these dudes are like surrounding him, and they do this to him like what, 2 or 3 times during the movie. And you're like, just his personality because we've seen a little bit of him before that. You're like, that nothing good is gonna come of this.
But you also get the impression that like maybe he's getting bullied by that gang, but he probably has done stuff to them.
Yeah, no, he's definitely an
He's like the
instigator.
instigator. Yeah. So I'm like, it's very. It's actually I was like, there's very little, but there's actually no point in this film where I actually feel sorry for him.
No, matter of fact, the longer he's on screen, the more scared, the more terrified of this dude you should be, obviously.
And that's the right. We've talked on multiple occasions. There's not a lot of films that have this character, but the irredeemable character.
Yeah,
Right. What was the one of High Fidelity?
yeah,
You're never like, oh yeah, John Cusack. I understand why he's the way. Nope, I don't.
nope, nope.
And he's
He's an
not redeeming
asshole.
himself either. Yeah. So this is the same thing for Bishop in this one. So
Yeah.
and maybe that's why people say he should have won an Oscar. But
Well, I mean, Denzel in Training Day probably also fits that mold.
yeah, but he's like charming though. You can definitely
Yeah, I
be like,
suppose
but it's Denzel.
charming, but Denzel, it's Denzel. I mean, I don't know, much, how much deviation. Like to me, giving somebody an Academy Award is because they stepped outside their body to become someone else that they weren't. But Tupac I mean, I'm not saying he was that guy, but he's close enough to he's close enough. So, whatever you say about his music career, I mean, although I don't go down this road, but I've heard rumors that he acted tough, but couldn't really fight. But that's a whole other thing.
I just started falling down a little hole here with a rabbit hole with Denzel. He's won. I don't know if this. Yeah, he's won five or six Best Actors.
Yeah, well, he was nominated 9 times, I think.
It says 93.
Well,
What was in 93?
I think that would have been 93. Was that not Mississippi Masala? Was it?
It was not Devil in a Blue Dress or something. Did he win for that?
He got nominated for that. I don't know if he won.
I mean, that's a good fucking movie. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's not showing me just list up. Come on, Google, do better. That's why. I mean, we are digressing a little bit. Like,
Oh, it's Denzel. So
yeah, I just watched. We just actually, Anderson. I just
okay.
watched Man on Fire last week.
Oh,
Oh, he
yeah.
won Best Supporting Actor for Glory. He
So
won.
93 was Malcolm X.
Did he win?
No,
Was nominated. Oh, I see it. 92. Malcolm X nominated. The Hurricane.
he only won twice.
That's what he should have won. Was Hurricane.
He should have won for a few of these.
They
Glory,
say
he should have won for
Flight.
Glory, which he did. Malcolm
He
X.
got supporting actor. Flight, Fences.
Yep. He
Oh, the
actually should have
Tragedy of
won for the
Macbeth.
Tragedy of Macbeth as well.
I haven't even seen that. It's on my list. I don't know. I don't know if I can handle some Shakespeare. Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't know why. Oh, it was anyway. The Oscars thing was showing me a different list, but
Yeah. Oh,
let's get back on track. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's my fault. So I read a trivia piece that said that Omar Epps learned how to scratch and spin as a DJ before production started. I'm no expert, but it actually sounded pretty. He actually sounded better than some of the other dudes that were in the competition.
Yeah, he was okay. He was passable.
Did you used to go out to stuff like that?
Oh yeah, I had DJ equipment, 1200s, and the whole shebang. They used to have those kind of contests all the time over here in the city.
Did you participate or did you
Of
go?
course,
Did you win?
once or twice. Wasn't really my thing, but it was fun. Like if you had 1200s, man, that was kind of like it was kind of like the
20s,
blue,
like 20s on your car, on your rims.
huh?
It's like 20s rims on your
It's
car.
kind of like the Instagram blue check mark. Seriously, because I mean, how many people at that point in time could afford them?
I mean, I don't even know what you're talking about right now, so you have to tell
Turntables.
me. No, no, I know, I figured.
Yeah,
I just don't even know what those.
are.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were expensive. They're like I think just back then, one turntable was $800, something like that.
it sounds expensive now.
Well, it's even more. Well, they don't. I mean, they still sell them, but they're probably different.
So we were supposed to do this movie actually like 2 years ago now.
Really? Oh,
Yeah, we had a guest and like the guest had to back out last minute.
oh, right.
So I just dug into my old notes and then like I updated them, but I had written that the motivation for their robbery was kind of weak. On this watch, I was just like, what was the motivation?
Yeah, I didn't understand. To be honest, I actually rewound a little bit because I thought I missed something. And I'm just like, so 1 minute they're just hanging out, the next minute they're robbing a store. I'm like, what?
Yeah, so like, and even Q says like, "Oh, did you decide this when I wasn't here?" And I'm just like, "Yo, none of us were here."
None of us.
I feel like a scene, at least between Bishop and Raheem, was edited out.
Yeah,
That would
probably.
have really provided some context for why they were doing this. Like the scene where Q and Bishop get in a fight at Steele's place. It was probably right before that, right?
Yeah,
Or I mean, right after that.
right after that.
That some conversation happened, but like we were not involved. So that's another. I mean, that goes along with the background, some backstory to some of these characters. That goes along with that. I feel like some stuff was missing.
I think I think whatever it was missing probably would have added maybe 10 minutes to the film, which is why they cut it.
But then it would have been an hour 45, which is fine.
Yeah, but an hour 45 in Hollywood, an hour and 30 is so much different. Trust me, economically is different.
And there's probably another conversation to be had about a um, um, mainly black cast and the length of that film as well. And
There you go.
who else? What audiences are gonna sit there for that long?
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, so Q seems like the only person that's like trying to do something with his life,
Yeah.
right? Like Steele's a follower, like I said before. Um, Bishop is just trying to get his juice, right? I don't even know what Raheem is doing. Like he's this leader, but like for what? To what end? I don't know.
Right.
And none of them like go to school that much. But Q is like trying to get on that music shit. So, and then they drag him into this heist, and just I don't know. Like we're left at the end of the film with like kind of a a cliffhanger. But
Literally.
yeah. By the way, I guess this film isn't the same universe as Love and Basketball, huh?
Why do you
Where
say that?
Omar Epps'
Oh,
character's also name is Quincy.
yeah. I don't know what's. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe he does make some of himself. He picks up basketball in the last semester of his senior year in high school and gets recruited for college.
They should have done that. They should have done that. That would have. We would have all watched that.
I mean, they probably didn't want to do a basketball high school thing because of. I mean, there's other films, at the same time that had the same theme.
Yeah, there was a lot of basketball themed movies coming out around in the early to late 90s.
But yeah, like I mean, just kind of rolling off, where that conversation was, where they decided to have the do the stick up. It just like that was my what the fuck moment. It's just Bishop. This is Tupac's character. It's like that shit just escalated mad quick.
Yeah.
He kills one dude and just goes on a killing spree. Like
Yeah, he became a serial killer suddenly.
what a sociopath.
I mean, this could have easily been sold as the like
Son of Sam. Son
yeah,
of Sam.
like a Son of Sam or a Dexter movie.
But like, yeah, he's definitely this like I don't know if it's sociopath or psychopath, but like just like yeah, to crazy. But like obviously he's killing all these people, but like laughing while being interrogated by the cops.
Yeah.
When he's comforting Raheem's mom.
Yeah.
Like,
that was messed up.
Acting like he ain't do shit. And then he's like staring at Q while he's hugging Raheem's mom.
Yeah.
Like, that's the part where you're like, if you're not scared, it's like you better be scared at some point.
Or in the elevator when he's chasing Q and he's just standing there at the door. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, that's
Q's
scary
like,
shit.
what are you going to shoot me? And he does. He
Yeah.
tries to shoot. I'm like, my fucking God, with a crowded ass elevator.
Yeah.
But even a scene where he's like telling Trip, he goes to Trip's place. By the way, Samuel L. Jackson is in this film. We haven't even talked about it.
I know, right? There's a few people we hadn't talked.
Well, because, you know why? Because he's so reserved in this movie. It's just not his
he's
normal
like a regular dude.
But when he goes to Trip's place to tell him to watch out for Q, like trying to manipulate Trip, right? So, yeah, this motherfucker's scary.
Well, I will also say that in that scene when they're at Steele's house watching
White Heat.
Yeah, White Heat, and the way how he's like so enamored with the fact that this dude went out in a blaze of glory. I mean, that wasn't normal. I mean, that was not normal.
And then he, would you say he goes out in a blaze of glory himself?
No, I'd say he went out like a punk.
I mean, they show this fight scene, and then it turns out that all these people in the building came up to the roof and were watching it, right? So like, and then of course at the end, someone says to Q, "Now you got the juice."
Yeah.
Right. So, kind of.
Yeah.
Right. Like he I guess tossed off the roof, but Q tries to save him. But like, there is this big fight scene.
Yeah.
So kind of a blaze of glory. I don't know.
I
was
guess.
just curious.
Well, he definitely went out fighting. So I guess.
But then he says, don't drop me, man." Yeah.
I would have.
Well, apparently that was one of the ideas. I was in the trivia somewhere to have him intentionally drop him I forgot what the reasoning was.
Because he's crazy.
No, it was like to avoid, so he couldn't be framed or something. I don't remember. But yeah, there was something like that. So like, but they didn't like what that's was something that, but it said about the culture. So they switched it up. But yeah, oh, it's not. Let me find it. I give up. But yeah, again. So we talk about the opening montage, and we see a bunch of these people in their houses and like waking up in the morning. We see Steele on the top bunk with his brother that says he stinks.
Yeah.
But he said you can't be that fat and smell or something shit like that.
Yeah.
We see Raheem fucking with his sister, like not letting her in the bathroom. But then we get to a scene like where Q is at home and his little brother is there. Yeah. I felt like he came out of nowhere. Was he in the opening montage?
I don't recall. I don't think so.
I mean, it's just like a really nice scene with his brother. You know, like his brother says, like, "These motherfucker." I wrote it down. "Yeah, motherfucker, you hurt my arm."
Yeah.
But
What'd you say?
And then they start like just kind of wrestling. But like, again, I have no basis for that relationship.
Yeah, I mean they clearly kind of make it clear that the families of these kids are kind of ancillary to the story for the most part. I mean, they're there a little bit.
Yeah, but they go to some effort in the beginning to show one of the moms yelling at them for like to go to school. Bishop putting some money in his dad's shirt pocket as he's watching TV doing nothing. I assume he's like unemployed or something. Like, well, that does set the stage. I think that gives a little backstory. Just that one little scene, which is like he doesn't want to end up like his dad, right?
Yeah.
As a nobody, or he ain't shit, right? So that was a little bit. I just felt like they could have gone a little bit more in depth on that one. But yeah, the brother, Q's brother, just
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. 'Cause, I mean, that whole, I mean, even though it was only a little bit, kind of a quick shot at these families, I think they did a good job of kind of giving you an idea of the environments that these dudes were growing up in. I mean, I can attest to some of that. You know, my best friend's father would yell at him like, just like that dude. You better get up. I know you better get your ass out of that bed and get to work, get to school. Every time I would come over, he would have to run in and get Chris to come down and get up and so it felt really authentic. And so in that, yeah, but to your point, I think there's some of it that feel like there are pieces that were left on the cutting room floor that we miss that kind of would have helped a little bit in kind of building these characters, like building this, like especially like when it comes to Bishop and maybe Raheem, because like our first introduction to him is he's on the street with I assume the baby mama, um, but we don't know. Like to be honest, he looked too old for high school.
apparently Omar Epps was in his last year of high school. I don't know about the rest of these folks in 1992.
Yeah,
How old, Tupac was, for example.
everybody in this movie is so young, though, man. I mean, even Samuel Jackson was so young.
I'm just looking at Khalil Kain, and one of his movies listed for him is Renaissance Man. I forgot about that.
Oh, he was in Renaissance Man?
Danny DeVito, he's one of the soldiers. Dude, Khalil Kain is 60 years old.
Oh, so he's my age almost.
Like, this is 92? So hold up. So what's the math there? 2025 minus 33 years. 60 minus 33 is 20. Yeah, he was in his 20s.
Yeah.
He's
So they
27.
probably were, they had to be like early 20s, most of them.
At least Omar Epps was, well, Tupac was born in 71, so he was 22.
He would have been 19.
Hmm?
He would be
93?
19 in 92.
Oh, 92. No, he was in 21.
You sure?
Yeah.
71?
Plus 21 is 92.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is, well, a couple questions. One is like, do these omissions, like, because we're looking at it critically, right? If we just sat down and watched the film without taking any fucking notes, I think I enjoyed it more this time than I did the previous time when we were supposed to do the podcast the first time.
Yeah.
And I think if I was just sitting just watching it, I'd enjoy it more than I did this time. So does it hurt, these omissions that we missed, these like backstories that we don't get? Do you think it hurts the film at all?
No, and I've noticed this recently. I was watching something. And, now that we do these podcasts analyzing films, it kind of changes how I watch stuff now in a lot of ways. And sometimes it's for the worse, because it's a movie that I clearly must have liked the first time I saw it. Then the second time I saw it with these critical eyes, and I'm like noticing, oh, well, this is missing and that's missing. So, yeah, same thing. If I were just sitting down on a Sunday afternoon watching this movie, this is a perfectly good movie. I mean, does it hurt it in a critical eye? Yes. In layman's terms, I don't think so.
I think I probably did and will probably maintain my rating with the critical eyes.
Oh, you gave yourself a rating last time?
No, no. But when I wrote my rating before we got on the podcast, I think I'll probably keep it there. But
I see what
the
you're
other
saying.
question is, does it hold up? Um,
Hmm.
and particularly like interactions with cops.
Yeah, well, that's evergreen.
Well, my position is in some of these like chases, the cops would have just shot them.
Yeah, yeah. They would. They these days they're not going to chase you anymore. They're going to just they're not going to waste the energy. They're going to put you down and then ask the questions later.
So it's a weird way of posing the question, does it hold up? Because usually it's like, oh, is there something offensive in here that, wouldn't hold up today? But like, it's more in that context that I was asking the question.
That's still sad.
Yeah. But I did, because this is of when this movie is set and it's when I mainly grew up, I did have it's a very 90s movie. I had a list of like stuff, 90s themes that I noticed. Not just the music, obviously, which we need to talk about, but there's a Malcolm X poster in someone's bedroom.
Yep.
The phase and the flat tops.
Oh,
I
yeah.
never got a flat top. My brother had a flat top,
I
which I'm
never had
sure
a
he's
flat top.
glad we can't find any pictures of that shit. I had the fade. I just had the fade. Oh, that was a little more conservative.
Yeah.
The stereos and boom boxes.
But yeah, everyone had one.
That two tape deck
The double dip
stereo.
tape deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was incredibly useful when you were making mixtapes.
Oh, for our younger listeners, a tape deck. No, let me go back. A tape with no. Just Google it, motherfucker. Um, Street Fighter,
Street Fighter.
because they're playing Street Fighter on the actual arcade game. Oh my
Yeah.
god, the baggy jeans.
Yeah.
I wore the baggy jeans. Sagging them. Actually, they weren't really sagging them in this one. Maybe it was too early. Maybe the
I
sagging
think it
was a
was
little
too
bit
early,
later.
right?
Yeah.
It's like a year late.
Records and scratching.
Yeah, records. I mean, definitely like at an all-time high, like around that time.
I was in a thrift store this weekend, and they had some records on sale. I was like, I mean, I guess it's kind of cool, but like, this is a thrift store, right? Which means old shit.
Yeah, but I still have a ton of vinyl.
I have some, like, because my mom had vinyl.
Yeah,
So
mine
I
was too.
have some that I just inherited from her. I don't have a record player, and I actually want to buy one.
They're so cheap to get.
Right? It's not the record player that's expensive. It's the hobby of collecting
Yes, the
records, and
records are expensive now.
I'm like, maybe I shouldn't even start that because I love my music, and like I think I will go get out of control with that shit.
Yeah, yeah, because it is a different experience listening experience.
I mean, my mom had the Ella Fitzgerald, and it's like, I mean, she has some Beatles, Bob Marley, a lot of reggae, Steel Pulse,
Yeah,
Third World. I think those are the ones I have. I think I have an Ella Fitzgerald, maybe a couple. So yeah, she has some classic shit that I do kind of want to listen to it on the record.
yeah, yeah.
I think it was very fitting that Queen Latifah was the gatekeeper
I
for the
totally
music.
forgot she was in this movie.
Uh-huh. It's like
There are a lot of people
the
in this
last
movie
note I
that
have
was
here.
like, wow, I haven't seen that dude in a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
Flex, I hadn't seen Flex in a long time.
well, also there's a Tretch from Naughty by Nature,
Tretch, yeah,
and at one point he's one of the guys that roll up on Bishop,
yeah.
and Bishop actually says, "Yo, get off me, Tretch." He actually said Tretch, his real name.
They probably like just leave it in.
I,
Too
I I
expensive.
I saw it in the trivia, but then I heard it later on in the film. I was like, "Oh shit, he did say that."
And then catch it. Wow.
But do you want to talk a little bit about the music? Because I don't think we talked about one
Yeah,
song
let's
so
do
far.
that.
Actually, I was talking about the opening montage when when we're meeting all the characters is enough respect. But before that, like the opening credits is Know the Ledge, Eric B and Raheem.
Yep.
I mean, Eric B. and Rakim and Big Daddy Kane are 80s, 90s hip hop, like
Yep.
rap. Like that's the perfect two people to kick off the
Yeah.
movie with.
Yeah. Such a, I mean, the opening that song was, it's actually really well placed.
It's interesting. It is interesting because they start like "Know the Ledge" by Eric B. and Rakim,
Yep.
right? If you take out the, it's knowledge,
Yep.
and it's right. It's for a film that's called Juice, which means like power, respect, whatever.
Yeah.
Which is like kind of like the second song, Enough Respect. Like you'd think that would be the opening song,
Yeah.
but there's also this theme of these guys that are in high school, but they're not going to school, and maybe that theme is educate yourself, right? Like give yourself a chance to not end up like Bishop, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the message is pretty clear with that opening song.
Yeah. Just also makes me sad for these kids. They're so young to be like so concerned with trying to have power. You know what I mean? So, I mean, technically, they should be getting ready for college.
Another way to get some
Yeah.
knowledge is power, right? Boom,
Knowledge is
full
power.
circle. But then there are some like obvious songs, right? Like when Bishop gets rolled up on the first time,
Yep.
the song is "So You Want to Be a Gangster" by Too Short. By the way, that's the same dude that did A Little Bit Taller, right?
Yeah.
Very different songs. Very, very different songs.
Yeah.
And then in the record store, uh, "Is It Good to You" by Teddy Riley and Tammy Lucas.
Teddy Riley.
It's like some like, I don't know, classic hip hop, classic R&B. Like I feel like you could put this soundtrack on and just like chill, like have a
Yeah.
party and just chill with you. Like maybe like don't even talk to nobody. There was no talking at this party. Let's just listen to this fucking album.
Yeah. This is definitely a good party album because you got a little bit of, you got the dance piece, you got the chill piece, you got the slow move piece.
I mean, it is nonstop though. The music is nonstop. Like, and we talked about this with the Luther documentary.
Yep.
Obviously, the first two songs kind of play in full. There may be a couple other songs that play pretty
Yeah.
extended, but a lot of short clips or dialogue over the top. I'm
Or
like,
background.
yeah, I'm like, come on, man. I mean, this isn't a music documentary, so it's more understandable. But
Yeah.
I did want to get a little more of the music.
With the sound, so wait, I'm trying to remember the budget for this again was 5 million. Huh. With all these artists, well, that makes that's a statement on the record industry right there.
I mean, maybe they got because Tretch was in the film, they got the "Naughty by Nature" song for free.
Yeah, maybe. Which
Uptown Anthem.
so that was the one question I had. Queen Latifah's in the movie, but none of her music is. That's
She was in it
interesting.
for more than Tretch was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it just didn't fit. I mean,
Yeah,
UNITY would probably be too much on the nose for this one. So
too positive.
yeah, I'm kind of surprised she didn't like start spitting at the DJ competition.
Yeah, something. I mean,
I'm trying to think of.
I kind of get it because she was kind of like the voice of like positivity at the time, and I think this movie was a little bit too dark for maybe her music.
Yeah, probably. So it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
I was actually curious of what which number film this was for her. She's known for.
I don't know. That's a good question.
So these are new ones. So this is 92. Well, no.
No, she wasn't in.
She was in Fresh Prince for an
Yeah,
episode.
she was in Fresh Prince.
Oh, she has credits. These are music videos. Oh, Jungle Fever 91, House
Yeah.
Party 2 91,
Yeah.
Fresh Prince 91. She was in OPP, Naughty by Nature.
Yeah.
No, this is after Jungle Fever and House Party. This is her third film. So now I want to watch those movies and see how much of a role, how big her role was in those two films. We did House Party 1. Maybe we got to do House Party 2.
House Party. Wasn't she supposed to be? I think she was one of the friends of what's her face? Not Letitia. The actress who plays Martin Lawrence's girlfriend on Martin.
Oh yeah, she was in House Party as well. Yeah, is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Tisha Campbell.
Yeah, Tisha Campbell.
I feel like I watched something recently with her in it too. Damn, Gina. But yeah, I mean, there's another Queen Latifah song that I really like, but it's got like, I think it's like a reggae. There's like a reggae riff in the back, the instrument. But there's actually a song. It's not in the soundtrack. It's not on the soundtrack they sold, but it shows up. It's called Ooh Ah by the Fabulous Five.
Mm.
It's when Q goes to Tripp's place and asks him to like set up the meeting with Bishop.
Okay.
The Fabulous Five are like the roots of Jamaica. Like I went to a Independence Day gala with my dad years ago, and they were that like the SNL 50. They were the concert. They were the house band for everybody, all these different styles of music.
Yeah.
That's what Fab Five were doing at this gala. They were playing for everybody, and they had their own stuff as well. They were amazing.
Yeah.
So they make an appearance in this film. I was excited about. Well, do you have any quotes or what the fuck moments stuck out to you?
I'm surprised we didn't mention this when we were talking about the record store. But the girl who was at the record store, man.
Well, there was the tooth, but she was
I didn't
cute.
say anything. I
She
just
was
said,
cute.
man. She was what?
She was cute. It's just a tooth that fucked shit up, you know?
Okay. If that's what you want. That was a what the fuck. And actually, my what the fuck moment was when Bishop shot what's his name for his friend the first time.
Raheem, yeah.
Raheem. That I for like if you don't watch that movie, the first time you watch that movie, that has to be a shock. It was just like, wow, that's fucked up. That to me was a what the fuck moment.
When he tries to kill everybody,
Yeah,
he shoots Steel. The Steel
shoots
survives.
Steel right there in the chest, man. I mean, Steele's like the most harmless dude, but I also understand why I kind of try to do it.
Do you, Daron?
Well, I mean, he was the weak link.
Oh, so we were talking about, Bishop being the guy that got bullied too much.
Yeah.
He says to that same dude that the leader of the gang that keeps rolling up on him, I was almost your father, but the line was too long.
Damn.
Yo. He deserved his ass whooped, man. You can't say that, man. There was two things in there, right?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
That was a what the fuck moment, but also hilarious.
They should have just ended the film.
Yeah. But dude, I imagine the theater at the time when he said that shit. I'm sure everybody oh! They probably had to pause the film for everybody to shut the fuck up.
And this is definitely one of those movies where everybody in the theater is talking. Oh no, he did. No, he did, girl. Mm-mm. Yeah, those were the fun times of being in the theater, man.
Was it fun? Because I like to hear. It's not like you're at home and you can pause it or rewind it. You miss that shit. You miss that shit.
Yeah.
Everybody starts laughing for 10 minutes and there's still dialogue going on. I'm like, yo, come on, man.
You just gonna have to pay your dollars and come back.
I paid $5 to get in, $5.50 to get in here.
We just stayed. People would walk out. We would just stay until they reset the room.
Oh, my what the fuck moment is just Bishop. That character is.
Yeah, he's a what the fuck moment into himself for sure.
What about that line from Queen Latifah?
Which one? The one when she's standing out front with the
guy that's complaining that she didn't like his tape
with Flex.
Is it Flex? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was brutal.
He's just like, because he's mad at her for not liking his set, and he's just like, "Fuck you," and she's like, "Well, you might have had a chance if shit wasn't so small."
So sad.
Cold. It's cold, bruh. It's cold.
And, Bishop, Steele talking with his mouth full. I was like, that is nasty. I
You
mean,
know you got friends like that.
no, I don't have any.
I have friends like that.
You
Shit.
do? Really? My brother used to be like,
So you guys ain't friends, huh? Are you? Ready for some final questions?
sure.
Uh, I'm gonna go with one of our originals, was I think the time period
I have a new question, by the way.
for this actor, the time period about and his age kind of fits. So
Okay.
one of our old school questions: could Will Smith be in this film, and what role, and would he make it better?
He could be in this film for sure. And um, he could have been one of the friends. What's his name? The dude who got the first guy got shot.
Raheem? You think it'd be
Raheem.
Raheem?
Yeah, he could be. I think he would have made a nice Raheem.
So of course I'm thinking of him at that age, and I'm like Fresh Prince. So for me, it's Steele for comic relief.
Mm,
Like he's more the comic relief side of things in the film. Um, After he did more serious roles, obviously he's older, but like yeah, once Will got more of those dramatic roles, yeah, I mean I can see him doing something like that, but then he's too old, right? So I don't know.
mm,
I don't know about Raheem, but
hmm.
I'm sure he could have done it.
Will Smith, he can do anything.
What's your question?
So this is an honor. So for everybody who's listening, we're launching a new playlist on Spotify soon. And so my question for you is, what two songs from this soundtrack do you think are playlistable?
That's for our listeners, right? I don't have to answer that.
No, you have to answer.
I mean, so we didn't talk about "Word Up" by Cameo. That's
Yeah.
probably one of the more poppy songs
Yep.
on the set on the track list. So I think that probably has to be one of them. Uh, and then after that, it's like one of the first two that we talked about: "Know the Ledge" or "Enough Respect."
Mm,
I don't know if I can make a decision on that one though. We mentioned
EPMD.
Uptown Anthem by Naughty by Nature. Yeah, that's a tough one with the soundtrack, man. With this track list.
Well, if, can't make it easy on people.
If you put a gun to my head like Bishop would do, Word Up and Enough Respect.
Okay. All right. I probably choose Word Up. That was one of, I like Cameo was one of my groups. I love them. And then the other song, one song that I forgot was in this movie that I actually really like. I forgot how much I enjoyed this song. "Don't Be Afraid" by Aaron Hall
Was
has a little,
the post-sex scene with Hugh and the
yeah.
character's
Although
name was.
the Naughty by Nature song probably needs to be on there as well.
Yeah, Uptown Anthem. I was thinking about that,
Yeah.
but then I think about like OPP or
Um,
Feel Me Flow. I'm
yeah.
like, no, it's why. I mean, I don't know if those are in another track list somewhere, but
There's
I feel
somewhere.
like those would go above that one.
All right.
All right, this is from. I have two trivia pieces here. I'm gonna try to combine them. Some of the people that were considered for the role of Bishop are Daryl Mitchell,
Who the hell's
Donald Faison, Anthony Tretch, Chris. So Tretch was and Money B. They all auditioned. Any of those folks
Tretch, maybe.
feel like a fit? That's what I said. I think that was the only person. I mean, Donald Faison, absolutely not. I
Yeah,
just think
no.
Scrubs and
Yeah. He might
Clueless,
have been Steel. He could do Steel.
maybe. Yeah, that comic relief. But yeah, I thought Tretch was probably the best out of that group. But also, Sean Diddy Combs lobbied for the part of Bishop. He was turned down because he was banned from the set after being fired from Strictly Business, which we've also done.
Really?
Because he was difficult to work with. Do we even entertain the thought of him in this movie?
No, he was probably busy buying the bottles of baby oil.
Baby oil.
Um, uh, I don't like. I've seen him in the what was that movie? Get Him to the Greek.
Was he in that?
Yeah, he's in that. And
No, I
I
mean,
don't find him a credible actor.
Yeah, I mean, I said I think Tupac is kind almost serviceable.
Yeah.
Diddy is just not an
Yeah.
actor. That's
No.
just no. So yeah, no. I just thought it was pertinent to mention that trivia.
Yeah.
All right, so this kind of goes in line with like your track listable songs, but what's your favorite song, and then what's the song you think encompasses the story?
My favorite song is "Word Up," probably. And here's my list. Damn it. And the song "Juice," I think, just because it has juice in it.
But where did that come into play? Right? Is that the K or Cuckoo song?
Yeah.
I had Juicy. Did I just double hit the E? I didn't hear it. I don't remember hearing it. But again, like it might have been
It
covered,
was
but
like there's a scene. I can't remember. It's like one of the first times they said they were talking about the juice. They kind of played it for a few seconds. Like I feel like we need to come up with a set of rules for films when it comes to like including songs on their soundtrack because you can't play something for like 3 seconds and go, all right, this is in the soundtrack. No, it's not.
well, if you go to like Wikipedia, right, it shows the ones that are actually right. We have the actual soundtrack and then songs that appear in the film, and they actually split it up that way. They have a track list, um, which is they have They have the singles listed: Uptown Anthem, Juice, or oh, Juice is Know the Ledge. It looks like there's another name for it.
Yeah, no,
Don't Be Afraid. Is It Good to You? So those are like the singles that came off it. But there's 14 songs on the official track list on the of the soundtrack, and then they have a list of other songs. So Pump Me Up, Word Up is
yeah,
not on the soundtrack, which is crazy to me. Bodega Juice, the Fabulous Five song Ooh Ah, and
shoot 'em up.
how I Could Just Kill a Man.
Yeah, that's a
That's Cypress Hill. We didn't even mention that.
yeah. It's just I just said that. I'm like, where this? I mean, they got shoot 'em up on from Cypress Hill. I'm like,
So I don't know how they decided what songs were going to appear on this thing, but yeah. Anyway,
fascinating.
but for me, um, I said for encompasses enough respect, right? Because
Yeah,
I don't know, it's just like I like Big Daddy Kane better than Cuckoo, and favorite is just because the Fabulous Five were on this soundtrack. I put their song Ooh Ah because you know me and reggae.
yeah,
I love me some reggae. So
yeah.
all right. So what have you rated this film out of 10?
Is this a rewatchable? Is this a day killer?
Not for me.
I don't
I
think
can
so
see how
either.
it's
Right?
particular for other folks, but
Like, I could see for some people this might be, but nah. I mean, nah, it's not. So with that said, I probably would give this a 7. It's the soundtrack is great. Don't get me wrong, and it's great seeing some of these actors on the screen. Again, I just, yeah,
man, I gave it a 7.5, which is this is very odd for me to be higher than you.
yeah,
I think my main hang up was the lack of backstory for some of the characters.
mm,
I think again, I'm not a huge Tupac fan, but as far as the acting goes, but I think other performances were really good. I think Omar Epps was great.
yeah.
I
He
think
was good.
Steele was great.
Yeah,
The Raheem character, Samuel Jackson was I don't know. He was always chatting to some girl, but like he's always good. And even some of the ancillary roles, I thought just the casting was very good. So like
yeah,
with the soundtrack, I think the writing is solid. Yeah, not rewatchable for me, but and there's things I could use more of like backstory, but 7.5 I think is
yeah,
definitely watch. You have I mean cultural significance. This is probably a cult classic, by the way.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
I think you definitely need to watch it at least once.
It's a cult classic and a cultural classic.
So if you have gotten through this whole podcast but you haven't seen this movie, Go check it out. It's on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, it's definitely worth watching. And then after you're finished watching that, watch Minister Society. It's playing next.
You don't have to move. You don't have to press a button.
Nope. You just sit there, and the next thing you know, you're in the bodega all over again. Yeah, I do miss like the use of bodegas heavily in films. We don't see that as much anymore.
Could be okay with that.
And a good bodega, there's something interesting about to happen. We should do a whole month of bodega movies.
I mean, the problem is we've done what was that film with the black and white with all the like white kids hanging outside and inside a bodega? Clerks. We did Clerks.
Clerks, yeah.
I don't know if you could consider Do the Right Thing. There is a bodega, but they don't go inside the Korean store, Korean-owned store. They go into the pizza place a lot, right? So, but anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of bodega content. Maybe I should start a film festival called the Bodega Film Festival. All films about bodegas. Yeah,
Besides that, what do you have going on?
I still doing the creators lounge on Wednesdays, and working on helping somebody with a film right now. And there's I'm doing a lot of graphic design suddenly for people, so that seems to be
Probably because I've been promoting the work you've done for me so much.
Speaking of which, what's coming up for you? You're taking a month off, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just had my birthday show last weekend, which went really well at Bowery Electric. Yeah, taking a break for March, so definitely gonna focus on one of my new singles, which I think we just need one more piece, and then which I'm hoping to have early this week and get that smoothed out, mixed, mastered. And Mr. Jenkins here is helping me with some album art and some other material. So once we have that lined up, man, just everyone keep your ears and eyes out for Inferno. Bum bum bum.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, that should be fun.
And as soon as I get off this call, I'm gonna reach out to Silvana for a show for April.
Oh, okay, cool. You're gonna do Inferno?
I mean, it'll be a solo show, so I'll probably.
Oh, so okay.
I mean, if it's April, maybe that's my album release show, my single release show.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Them dates.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, then, anything else you want to share with the world?
No, nothing.
Pardon me, I'm about to rob this place.
Exactly.
Oh, but before we hang this up, I forgot one other what the fuck moment. Steel cooking with OE. I was like,
what's wrong with that?
Yeah, okay.
What?
You cook with OE?
My liver with OE back in the day.
Yeah.
Can't drink it anymore though. I used to be able to drink like 2 of those in a night.
Oh yeah.
Can't do it anymore.
There was nothing better than standing out front of a.
My taste buds, man. Something changed.
It's not taste buds. It's your body. You're rejecting all that poison. But yeah, a good old OE could hit the spot. So, all right, that's enough. Thanks everybody. Be sure to follow Chris at Chris Saunders _music on the socials. You can follow me at the Daron Jenkins, and of course, we would appreciate if you'd like and support the podcast at Tracklist Show on Instagram and also on YouTube. And that wraps it up for us. We'll be back next week with another podcast. But until then, I am Daron Jenkins.
Chris Saunders.
And this was the Tracklist. See you guys. Stay safe. We'll see you soon.